there. Welcome to Studio 5. We got a great lineup in today's show. Here's the rundown. His soulful lyrics earned him a Grammy. There's no one greater than you. Now we talk to the man behind the great work, recording artist Darrel Walls.
That was the first song we wrote together, and we hit it, and it took us about 15 minutes.
What brings you to Amsterdam? I thought it was time for an adventure.
And we've got a closer look at Midwinter Break. Plus, Amanda Janson is sharing her new music.
It felt like a healing journey.
You changed my name from sinner to saint.
Those stories are ahead, and we have this week's Top 5 countdown. At number 5.
You inspired millions of people. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? You're just going to ride off into the sunset?
The band Mercy Me's music story in I Can Only Imagine 2 opens at number 3 at the box office with $8 million.
Seems we find ourselves at the crossroads.
They say sometimes you win some,
The question is,
sometimes you lose some.
are we still headlining material?
At number 4. It's the life of David in a game called The Anointed, and it's pointing gamers to Christ.
The only way you can win this game is to build the traits of obedience, discipline, courage, humility, patience, all the things that make up the heart of David. So if you make your choices in the game that follows David's story, you'll have a better time playing. If not, you might be prey to people like Goliath.
Fresh after earning his very first Grammy Award, singer-songwriter and producer Darrel Walls is here. Before his Grammy-winning first solo project, he was known for his work with his 2 sisters and his younger brother in the Walls Group. As a solo artist, he's worked with multi-Grammy Award-winning artist PJ Morton.
If you ask it is yes, whatever the test, I believe. But it's up to me, I've got to move.
This is, in terms of your Grammy nominations, number 4, number 5, where do we stand?
6.
6, number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you when you get the news of this latest nomination?
I was in the gym.
Surprise, surprise.
I was in the gym. I was in the gym, and I kept getting all these text messages and phone calls and notifications. I was like, everybody just don't call me. Like, what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
So when I started to read the text message, like, congratulations, congratulations. I was like, what did I do? And then I saw PJ actually called. He was like, man, congratulations on your Grammy nomination. I was like, huh? To God be the glory, man. Wow, this is my first Grammy, y'all. Thank you, Lord.
How does it feel? Because we initially meet you as a member of a group, your family group,
Yep.
and now you step out on your own and to receive this.
I just want to have fun. So we had fun, and that's all I cared about. So I wasn't really focused on numbers and what people were going to say about it, what they were going to think about it. I just had a good time, and we would like have it. And so for it to do what it is that it has done, it is kind of crazy, because it's like, now when I don't care, now everybody else cares, you know?
You just have to stop. So I said, if you're asking us yes, whatever the test, I believe.
So the project is called Heart of Mine.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that title, the single.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
So what happened is the first song I heard was Able.
I believe you're able. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord.
That was the first song that he sent me, that PJ sent me, and I was like, I'm crying, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But that was only because sometimes you don't realize that even though you've given something so much, that you still have more to give. And my life within the last couple of years has been very introspective. So when we started doing the records, a lot of the records were more so introspective and a lot of just conversations with God, not anything outside of that, just me and God having conversations. So it made sense to name it Heart of Mine, because a lot of the songs were coming from a place or resonated with me of where I was in my journey at the time.
And I want to say more than 5 million digital streams.
What you know?
Right?
Why you know stuff? Ooh, scaring me. That's crazy. You telling me something?
Those numbers.
You're telling me something. I didn't know that. Because again, I wanted to have a good time. And
so you haven't even been looking.
I have not been looking. And they tried to be like, you want to see? No, I don't want to see. Because being in the industry a long time, sometimes you can get, misguided. And then you start thinking about, well, how do people think about me? How do they feel about me? Do they like it? Is it good enough? Is it dope enough? None of that matters. It goes where it's supposed to go. And the hearts that are supposed to receive will receive. So that's where I've been. So I didn't want to see no numbers, but now you said
I'm sorry.
That's pretty good.
Now, you at least co-wrote 2 of the tracks.
I did.
Correct. Which 2?
Amazing and Holding On.
Let's talk about Amazing.
Yeah.
You're amazing, so breathtaking, unbelievable, supernatural.
So we did this record in a week. That was what was playing when we walked in, just the melody. And I was like, that sounds like me. And he was like, well, I don't have no words. All I have is a melody. And so that was the first song we wrote together. We hit it, and it took us about 15 minutes to get that done. And then I said, yeah, let's go. Come on, let's go do it. Let's go do it. Let's do it. And it became the first favorite.
You make kings look small when they sit next to you.
All the ups and the downs, I don't hate any of it. I'm appreciative of every moment, every mistake, everything that I've endured or experienced through these 17 years with my family, without them. It has been beautiful, all learning experiences and it's just been good ministering to the people I've ministered to and meeting people that I never thought I would ever meet. It's been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey.
I tell you, there's no one greater than you.
Darrel Walls' debut album is called Heart of Mine. It's available wherever you stream your music, and right now there's a deluxe edition with more music and some guest artists. Still ahead, a look at Midwinter Break.
Against all the odds, hope a new chapter is possible. So that even at this moment in their lives when they've felt that things were broken beyond repair.
At number 3. Snapshots and snippets from ChosenCon 2026 in Charlotte, North Carolina, the 3-day convention for fans of the Chosen TV series, giving them a chance to spend time with the cast and creators. What are you most looking forward to fans seeing and people seeing in this season?
So season 6 is, I think almost everyone in the world knows the gist of the story. And even some people might even know the concept of Jesus died for our sins, right? They've heard that phrase. I think it's remarkable how many people don't know what that means and don't know the why of the crucifixion. So what I'm actually most excited about is, as difficult and as painful as it was to film season 6, and as painful and as the suffering of Jesus was, it's also the greatest love story ever told because of the why. And so season 6 is not only the story of what Jesus did on the cross, it's the story of humanity, starting with creation. And so I'm really excited for people to see a cinematic portrayal, I believe, that's also entertaining, even though it's at times dark, but I think it's also something you're not gonna want to turn your face away from.
At number 2.
Please state your name.
Ryland Grace. I just woke up from a coma. I'm several light years from my apartment. And I'm not an astronaut.
Houston, we have liftoff. It's a Studio 5 first look at Project Hail Mary, a sci-fi novel adaptation and possibly one of the most anticipated films of the year.
The sun is dying.
You are the only scientist who might know what this says.
I'm just a teacher at Grover Cleveland Middle.
You have a doctorate in molecular biology. I need you to come with us. This is Project Hail Mary.
The sun is not the only star dying.
Every star was infected by its neighbor, except one.
Why?
We don't know.
And we'll have the #1 story in uplifting entertainment in just a few minutes. We're going to turn now to Midwinter Break. Set in Amsterdam, a couple makes the trip unearthing memories, misery, and miracles.
Amsterdam. That's fantastic.
What brings you to Amsterdam? I thought it was time for an adventure.
For people who are seeing this movie without having read the book, how would you describe the story?
Like a love story for grown-ups.
What is it, love?
We seem to have become exiles from each other.
It's about a couple, Jerry and Stella, who have been married for a long time. And they've reached a stage in their marriage where I think both in their own ways, they've got a sense that something is no longer right and something that needs fixing. And over the course of the film, it turns out that there's something that has happened to them in their past that needs to be dealt with in order for them to move on into the future.
From the promises we made, the promise I made.
Why are we here, Stella?
I want to tell you something.
A couple vacation unearths some painful secrets. Would you say this story is hopeful, or how would you describe it?
I think that in the end the story is hopeful, yeah. I think that what I love about it, I guess, particularly in that final scene, without giving too much away, is this sense that against all the odds, hope, a new chapter is possible. So that even at this moment in their lives when they've felt that things were broken beyond repair, there is a surprising moment of like a glimmer of hope, I guess, is what it is, and that their mutual bravery in seizing that chance is surprising, I think, and I find it very moving, and I think that is, in the end, what the film is about, is the courage to find that moment, even though a minute ago it looked like it wasn't going to be possible.
I can't go on living the way we do.
We're talking about deception.
Stella is walking out questions of faith like many people. Take us inside her struggle.
I think she feels to some extent like she is running out of time. I suppose that's what I think it really comes down to. And she feels that she is letting something down, that she's lived a life that is not in accordance with the principles that are most deeply rooted in her.
You're not listening to me.
I think a lot of it is guilt. I think a lot of it is a sense of guilt that she hasn't lived her life in the way that she ought to have lived it.
Why is this story relevant today?
Everybody in a long-standing relationship can relate to that sense of uncertainty around or doubt around something that once felt easy and very readily available. And I think that a marriage is about finding those moments of hope and new chapter collectively together over and over and over again. So it's not just about that moment where you stand at an altar and get married, it's about finding that recommitment to each other. And I guess I also feel that a lot of people have a sense of the life unlived. I think that feeling is something that can be pretty universally applied.
You and me.
Me and you.
Midwinter Break is in theaters right now nationwide. It is time now for your Studio 5 snapshot. New images from Michael, the highly anticipated Michael Jackson biopic. Its director, Antoine Fuqua, describes the filmmaking process as a spiritual journey, recalling the entertainer's personal impact on his life and the lives of countless other young people. Jackson's nephew, Jafar, has the starring role in this highly anticipated film in theaters April 24th. And that is your Studio 5 snapshot for the week. Still ahead, singer Amanda Janson is with us to share her musical first.
From the time we started writing for this project to the very last song that was produced, it felt like a healing journey. It felt like this project is me healing out loud.
Welcome back to Studio 5. Here's a look at the #1 story in the world of uplifting entertainment this week. At #1.
That's not gonna help him. He needs to heal.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
What's that supposed to mean?
A new role for Jonathan Rouming, known to many from the wildly popular Chosen series. It's Solo Mio, a hit romantic comedy.
Hey, I think that was Matthew. Who's on the back? Coffee lady. Go, Maddie, go!
We, of course, know you as Jesus over the course of these last few years. What was it like to do something different?
Oh, man. I was happy to wear regular clothes, just for starters. Running water is always good in scenes. It's helpful. You don't have to really invent the wheel. It was great. I got to shave. I got to heighten my own natural native New York accent. And I got to play a character that's not carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. And for me, being a supporting lead in the movie with Kevin and Kim Coates and Allison Hannigan and Julie Serta, who played the couples and the rest of the cast, it was really, really fun and just a breath of fresh air for me.
Line him up, buddy.
That wraps this week's countdown. Singer and songwriter Amanda Janson hit the music scene in 2022 with her debut song, In the Name of Jesus. Today, she has a new music project. It's called Sinner to Saint, and it traces her personal journey to finding her true identity.
You changed my name from sinner to saint.
You had Broadway dreams, correct?
That's right.
Tell me about that time in your life.
Yes. Yeah, it was 16 years of pursuing theater. I grew up right outside of New York. I fell in love with just how music and theater brought people together and pursued it, and then gave it all up.
Vision says we're crazy, we're foolish, and maybe we've lost our mind.
So you walk away from the theater. What happens life-wise?
Identity crisis for a few years. You know, when you're going through a little bit of who am I, you try and find it in all the wrong places. So relationships and substance abuse and alcohol, and nothing would quench that ache that I had in my soul for something more. I just didn't know that more was Jesus.
What's the click? What's the turn? What's the moment of truth?
Yeah, so not growing up with a church background, my husband did. And so one morning he came into our room, ripped the covers off, and said, we're going to church. It was just an immediate hit of just the presence of God. And I wanted all of it. I wanted everything that those worshipers on that stage had.
So safe to say you went from sinner to saint?
Yes! I like what you did there. Yes.
Which is the title of your first album.
That's right.
How you feeling?
Expectant. Yeah, excited.
The process of creating this, how long has it been? What was the work like?
From the time we started writing for this project to the very last song that was produced, it felt like a healing journey. It felt like this project is me healing out loud.
Warfare, any?
Yes, lots of it. Lots of it. You make the enemy mad when you pursue the things of the Lord and the calling that He has on your life.
His kingdom come, here's to the
Wild Ones is the first single
Yes.
on it.
Yes.
What can you share?
Yes, Wild Ones. Oh, I read this book by Nate Johnston called The Wild Ones, and it changed my life. And the day that I finished it, I had to write. And I'm like, I need to write about what this book just did to my life and write a call to the ones that feel like they're too loud, too much, too outgoing, the wild worshipers. And so we wrote it. It has just been a really fun anthem.
Sinner to Saint?
Yeah, it's the journey. It's the testimony.
You prove it again that there's no other name than yours to make a sinner a saint.
Stripping off the label of sinner and walking into who God says that I am.
No dark corners.
We show up to church on a Sunday and people ask, how you doing? You say, oh, I'm good, I'm fine, when we're really not. So No Dark Corners is about how we can lie to everybody else, but we can't hide from the Lord.
Open up the curtains to let the light in. Reveal my every secret I've tried to keep hidden.
Where the warfare ends.
Okay, this is my favorite one. Can I say that?
Yes, I like that. Yes, thank you.
This is my favorite one. It is the most personal, and it was written to the Amanda a couple of years ago that was going through the darkest season of her life. And it's literally written around words that God spoke over me in one of the darkest days that I had. And he told me, this is where the warfare ends. This is it. We're done. The enemy that you face today is gone.
Isn't it fitting we end with just getting started?
Yes, this is the most hopeful song on the record. It's for everyone that just believes that God has a good plan. He is just getting started on what we're about to see unfold for all of us.
Good news, Amanda Janssen's project, Senator Saint, is available this Friday wherever you purchase or stream your listening material. Welcome back to Studio 5. You know, music helps us to bring you this show each and every week, and this week's soundtrack comes from Zacardi Cortez. Take a listen, and you'll hear why Working on Me is what's playing in my ear.
He's not through with me yet. He's still working on me. Oh, can't you see? He's not through. Oh, so please be patient with me. Oh, can't you see? He's not through. Every test, every trial, it was all working to get me here. So please.
On that musical note, we are just about out of time for this week's edition of Studio 5. So let's take a quick look at next week's rundown. The undeniable voice behind the undeniable hit, Candy Staton, shares the legendary life behind the lyrics. What do you think it is about what you have done? You've been in this industry now 7 decades, I guess it would be safe to say.
75 years.
75 years. That's allowed you to last, because it hasn't all been good, but you're still doing this.
Yeah, I'm going to do it until the Lord calls me home. That's my job. He gave me a purpose, and I'm standing on that purpose.
Please join us for that and so much more next week. As for this week, we've got time for just one more thing. Let's give the final word to Grammy Award-winning artist Darrel Walls. One of the things I personally love about you is to go through difficult circumstances and to see you maintain and continue and not quit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry. But it breaks my heart when I see people who fall and suffer and do go through things and then we never hear from them again.
Yeah.
What allowed you to?
I think when you realize that everything happens for a reason, right? You don't really understand it in the moment. But for me, my faith tells me that whatever God allows, he uses. And a lot of the things that we endure or we go through or we experience is not necessarily really for us only, right? It's for us in the sense of we grow, we learn, and we become. But there is a story that God is trying to get out of you so that somebody else out there can realize, oh, if he can make it, or if he can endure that, then I can too. So when I wake up every day, I don't wake up being selfish and saying, I don't want to deal with anything. I don't want to go through anything. But if it really actually is your will for me to suffer for a second, give me the strength to suffer well. Because you're not a liar. So if you said that all things work together for my good, then you have to come through on that. So I'll suffer well. I'll go through it. I'll push through it, the tears, the pain, the heartbreaks, the betrayals. Whatever it is you say, I gotta find. As long as you're with me, and as long as you make good on these promises, I'm in it.
Such a great final word for this week's edition of Studio 5 and for this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back and see what Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.